Bryson DeChambeau.
Wow.
Is it DeChambeau?
DeChambeau. I actually don't know. Well, you would say DeChambeau, but maybe, I don't know.
I'm going to say Bryson DeChambeau to piss everybody off.
Okay, let's
make a short of Bryson DeChambeau.
Sounds French.
He's basically, I think, this like renowned golfer from Canada, titled as the scientist for his like data analysis type playing golf. He's one of the most famous golfers ever, I think.
Certainly at the moment he is, yeah. For sure.
And he's garnered like a really, really, really strong fan base, like a cult-ish fan base.
Yeah.
He's I remember a couple of years ago he like aligned himself super quickly with like the right-leaning side of things in the political spectrum.
Yes.
And a couple of years ago he like made a couple of appearances on the Nelk Boys YouTube channel, which is obviously a very like now more right-leaning platform than I'd like it to be. And more recently he had a video with Trump like 3-4 weeks before the actual presidential election, which obviously like blew the fuck up because anything Trump, anything election at the time would just like catch on fire. And he has 700,000 fucking subscribers. I'm sure he has more than fucking Tiger Woods.
Well, probably now, yeah. That's a point, actually. I've never seen Tiger Woods, but I've seen heaps of content about Tiger Woods. I don't think I've ever seen a piece of organic Tiger Woods content.
Tiger Woods.
Gosh, and I will say, I don't know if you I might be jumping the gun here. I don't want to get ahead of you if you are going to bring this up, but Bryson recently, I'm not on first name terms with him, but recently released a video, I don't know if you saw this, where he was going to try every day to get a hole-in-one over his house. And what he did was, depending on which day it was, that was the amount of shots he was allowed to take. So on the first day, literally, he's in front of his the tee is outside on the front in his front garden, and the hole is in his back garden, and it shows this beautiful glass facade of his obviously gorgeous house. Smashes the ball over, and then on the 16th day, where he was allowed 16 shots, and the 10th shot of that day, he gets the hole in one, and it's an unbelievable piece of content. I've got to hand it to him for two reasons. A few reasons. Firstly, the fact that the idea is smart, like increasing every day, great. For sure. Secondly, the fact that he's in front of his glass house, where like you just feel like the ball's going to smash through his massive front window. And third and finally, the fact he actually got the hole in one, like it was, and not like a year in, within like just over 2 weeks. That was amazing.
16 days is crazy.
Pretty cool.
I just saw the video.
It's amazing. It's really cool.
For the win this morning, every day for 2 weeks, the SMU grad has been posting videos himself trying to hit a hole in one over his home in Dallas. Whatever day it is, that's how many tries he gets. And so, for example, on day 7, he only gets 7 tries.
Wow.
That's mad.
Oh, look at him go crazy.
Mad.
That's insane.
That's mad.
That's insane.
I've been back in Sydney. I've been playing a lot of golf lately.
Yeah.
Not on the course, just like at a driving range. And it's way more physically taxing than I think.
Is it?
So much more than people realise, right? Well, okay. Let me be clear. If you're playing like a hole, I'm sure maybe not so much because it's like 4 shots. It's more mentally taxing. But bro, I mean, I get 120 balls in an hour. So every 30 seconds, I'm doing this like hectic swing. Yeah. And it really is tough. And obviously, it's so hot out there. So yeah, it's an amazing sport. It's very therapeutic. It really balances the mind. But at the same time, it's tough, man. Yeah. Yeah. You never, because think about it. All golfers, they're all in shape. Yeah. They're all in shape. All of them.
That's yeah, that's interesting. I think with Bryson DeChambeau, his reputation. I think this is really interesting. His reputation before he like became this like personal brand that we all know and love is that he used to be like the super like almost arrogant, cocky, standoffish type golfer that no one knew nothing about. But now since he's embraced like his socials, like he's a full-blown YouTuber at this point. Yeah, wow. And like, full-blown YouTuber, TikToker, people have like started to like take a liking to his personality and stuff. Yeah. And I think there's something in that where like now athletes are like taking control of their own narrative.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
So like think like Cristiano with his own YouTube channel. Yeah. Think Jude Bellingham with his own YouTube channel. Like what does a 21-year-old fucking footballer have anything to do with starting a YouTube channel and just like going from there? I think there's something in that where like they're control their own narrative. Like it's not just the headlines that they're written about. It's also,
You are so right. And I think it's very interesting. As someone who's a huge football fan, you know, that they are so media trained. And you know Cole Palmer. Yeah. I think the reason why people like him is because he's I mean, bless him. Like, I'm not throwing shade because I really, even though I hate Chelsea, I love the boy. I think he's wonderful. I think he's going to be a brilliant player for England for years to come. But
football was his only option.
Bless him. He's there. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm insulting him, but let's just say hear the video speak for himself. Yeah. That being said, though, let me throw some huge praise on him because what he is authentic. Yeah. And you know, having grown up in the UK, there's lads that he reminds me of a lad, like just not a specific lad, but like he could be a lad from my school. He could be a lad from down the road. He could be one of my cousins. You know what I mean? He's someone who just just like fish and chips. Yeah, just like it. He's that great. So to loop back to your point, you're absolutely on the money with how people are controlling their own narrative and what people despise. I guess a bit strong. What people dislike is how you don't get the real person. Everyone's so media trained, and this is why. Love him or hate him, this is why Donald Trump's been a success. Because he's taken the rule book of how you should appear in public and gone, and it does not matter what he says or what anyone says, that's just coming out of his mouth. You know that no one's in the background going, say this, say this, say this. That's coming from here and it's coming out here. And that's why he does well.
It just, whenever somebody like that comes at the woodwork, it's always so refreshing. And then we immediately like take a liking to that person. Because, like, you can tell they're being authentic. And I think authenticity just wins. Like,
I totally agree.
Authenticity wins, full stop. Like,
and also, he is, I mean, like, you know, obviously not to get too political, you know, cards on the table. I'm not a Trump supporter. I never will be. But I've seen him on chat shows. And the guy's charming. Like, he's funny as well. Like, he is, as I say, policies despise. As a person and what he gives off and how he talks, it's just, there's something I say radiant. It's not radiant. So you've got radioactive and radiant, right? There's two different sides of that coin. So and you're completely correct as well. It's you know, it's that authenticity, and people go, suddenly it's your mate down the pub, suddenly it's your mate at work, it's anyone. Amazing.
It's crazy. And I think the thing with Bryson, the thing with Bryson DeChambeau is that he like, I guess, I mean, because like, I don't know, I can't name another golfer other than Tiger Woods. Like, I'm that much of a casual. I'm not even a casual. I'm just
I'm casual. I only do because my dad was like, growing up, was hugely into golf. And I think it's a really big thing in the UK where like finance bros who are having a bit of a quarter life crisis. Like, mate, trust me, so many of my mates back home who like haven't traveled or whatever, who have like really good jobs, they all golf. And my sister's partner Mike, he's an amazing golfer. Like, it's huge in the UK, but there's not that many golfers that I could name, but one or two for sure.
And I think it's really interesting because he really kickstarted all his socials right after COVID with TikTok and stuff.
You're right.
And it was purely TikTok for like a year and a half. And then he slowly, when he obviously like gained the following and stuff, he slowly started making the transition to YouTube, which I think is so smart because like you don't want to put the effort into making long form video content for years and roll the dice on that. Sure, you're like a full blown golf celebrity, golf royalty, whatever. But like trialing it on TikTok short form content, it's just way less effort and you probably get more views. And then from that, we can see how much people love it, and then you can start slowly transition people onto YouTube. 100%. I feel like you do something similar to that, or no?
Yeah, I guess so. I think, to be honest, I have less of a strategy. I think because my first video blew up, which was so like, it was so unexpected. I didn't know what to do. I remember being at Wellington Phoenix and this lad being like, "Oh, you're the guy from YouTube," and me being like, "Oh, you're one of the 6 people that's watched it." Then, and then he was like, "Nah, bro, look at you, like check it," and I was like, like what the hell? So I had less time, and then I just went home and recorded like 10 on the bounce. So I had less time to have a strategy. But you're so right. I think once you have a little bit of success, you then can at least attempt to steer people in a certain direction. Obviously, I've now pivoted much more towards food content. Because, well, there's only so much about New Zealand culture. There's only so much culture one country can have. Like you can't. I've tried to squeeze out every last drop. Believe me. I'm sure there's still heaps more to discover. But you do have to. You have to strategically pivot. But also, when you're his level, well, you can pivot any way you damn well want. I'm sure if he suddenly said, "Hey, I'm going to become the world's greatest juggler" or something, and he documented that over a 3-month period, people would eat it up.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing with Bryson DeChambeau especially is that his like when he started, I don't know like if this is intentional, but when he started, it looked like it was just him posting the TikToks himself. Like it didn't look like there was a team recording him or anything. It looked like he literally put the camera up on a tripod, hit record, did it. It was not edited whatsoever, and then people started getting a liking to that, and then obviously the videos get more polished, so on, so, and then the storytelling aspect gets better, and then now you have like him on YouTube where he runs a podcast that gets like hundreds of thousands of views every episode.
And now, and what he's done is he has secured his legacy. So when he retires from golf at the age of like, well, to be fair, I was going to say the age of 40, but I think Jack Nicklaus was still playing when he was like 65. So who knows? But when he retires, as you know, sports stars, of course, have a shelf life. Golf, I think you can play a little bit longer than a lot of the contact sports, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's now secured his legacy that if suddenly he falls off as a golfer, which probably won't happen, look what he's got. He's got himself a little media empire. Like, fair play to the guy.
He's a full-blown influencer now.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's not just from like a, I don't know what the word is, from like a, oh my God, what's English? It's not from like a visibility standpoint. Right. I think it's also from like a monetization standpoint. I think like you could obviously, golf players, I'm assuming, get paid quite well.
Outstandingly.
With the sponsors and stuff there.
Yeah, hugely.
And I think there's room for there to be sponsored beyond that for your social platforms.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like,
for sure.
That's a whole other bag.
Oh my gosh! I mean, like, even, you know, like I say, I mean, I'm definitely not big time. I mean, I'm not even small time. I have 32K on YouTube. It's nothing. I'm not even on 100K. And sometimes some of the things you get offered, it's like, whoa! And you get sent things like I did like a headphone brand deal about a year ago.
Yeah.
Super expensive headphones plus payment plus another pair of the headphones. Just for 30 seconds of being like, hey, this is a really good thing. Yeah. And you're like, what? So if I'm getting that at that level, what are people getting? I can't even imagine what they're getting.
Because I think, especially like, just going on that real quick, I think there's something in that because like YouTube, because that was for YouTube, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So like there's an elevated like value in the audience from YouTube than TikTok.
Oh, 100%. They're more dedicated on YouTube.
Yeah.
100% correct.
And so like there's better sponsorship opportunities, I want to say, for in YouTube than TikTok, maybe?
Yes. No, you're completely right. And it's interesting. Like, if you really, like, there's a couple of YouTubers I watch. There's one guy I watch called DeChambeau. He's like an American guy who speaks fluent Mandarin.
Yep.
He like goes to Chinatowns around the world and is like, hey man, how much is this apple? And then like flicks in the perfect Mandarin. It's unbelievable. Him, I like. I'm not obsessed with him, but I like him. So if he has an ad, I skip right through it.
Yeah.
But someone like Bald and Bankrupt, who I love, I actually watch his ads because I'm like, I find him funny and interesting. Yeah. Whereas the Xiaoma guy, he's obviously awesome, but I just like his skill. Yeah. So so you're totally right. If you're that dedicated, you will watch the ad. Yeah. If you're that dedicated.
Yeah. I think it depends on like the person you're watching, because like sometimes you literally cannot like stop watching the person.
Well, so even we'll look at, and also it depends. Sorry, just quickly, it depends how they do it. Because look at Mr. Beast. Yeah, he works them in.
Going to mention Mr. Beast,
but he works. I mean, let's not even go there. What he gets, but the way he works them in is genius, right? He makes the ad like part of the content. Yeah, and also the little thing that he does where he has the time bar.
Yes,
and it's slow and it's like, bro,
so smart. I thought I was tripping.
Yeah, so did I. So I was like, what is going on here?
But he's a fucking. He's a smart ass, bro. He knows what he's doing. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.